If there's one sport Nigeria is famous for, it is football, or what Americans call soccer. In fact, football is to Nigeria what American football is to America. Nigeria is widely regarded as a football powerhouse in Africa, having won several international trophies in the game. But a group of young Nigerians are now making a strong case for American football to become a nation's sport in the country. TV360's Deji Bademosi has that story.
This is a rare sight here in Nigeria, where football is so popular it's become a national pastime. But for almost 2 years now, this group known as Lagos Marine has been playing American football in Nigeria's commercial capital, and their number is growing. Founded by a German diplomat in late 2014, Lagos Marine, one of only 2 American football teams in Nigeria, is the only one in the south of the country, while the other one, known as ABU Titans, is in the north. Assistant coach and offensive coordinator of the team, Bimbo Bankole, joined the group in 2015 after retiring from the U.S. Army and playing the game there while in service. He is now one of those at the forefront of getting more Nigerians to show interest in the game.
The journey has been very tough, obviously, because it's a very different sport to Nigeria. Yes, we do have a lot of people that have the exposure, the experience, having either played or seen or been around the game. Fortunately for me, I was in our U.S. Army for about 11 years, which gave me the exposure to actually play and now coach in Nigeria. So the journey has been a tough one, but we're glad to where we are now. We're getting the opportunity to showcase our talent to a lot of people. We had a great game on April 23rd at Campus Mini Stadium here in Lagos Island, and that brought the attention that we've been hoping to get for these young boys and girls, and we're just hoping to grow from there.
With just a handful of youths showing interest at inception, the team has now grown to 67 players strong.
Ready? Down! Set hike!
There's also a category for children as well. It has 23 children from the age of 11 and below. They undergo their separate training, learning all the rudiments of the game.
Fortunately, some of these kids have older brothers and sisters on the team, so they're watching their older brothers, the excitement, the conversation when they come home about practice. So that's actually encouraging them to come out as well. The growth, obviously, for this game to flourish in Nigeria, we need to be able to plug into, obviously, the grassroots, get into the primary schools, get into the secondary schools, teach them, educate them about the sport and build from there. And I think when we start to do that as a team and as a sport, like any sport in Nigeria, it will grow. Of course, to do that, we need whatever help we can get. We just can't walk into any school and start teaching American football. If schools that are out there that are actually watching or paying attention, give us a call. Approach us. We'll gladly come in, give a clinic to some of these children, give them an opportunity to know that it's another sport other than football or soccer or basketball. There's also American football.
Virtually all the players here are not just playing the game for fun. They all hope to go play abroad someday and make a living out of the sports.
I actually have a dream to play abroad because I have some superstars who I look up to, like idols, like Laurent Landry and Adrian Peterson. Like I really feel that I could be like them, because I really watch their plays on TV. Now I'm able to train with my coaches, with my teammates, actually, play like those guys I see on TV. That's just a dream, I'm still a very young guy, so I really have that focus that I will make it in this game.
My goal is to become a professional player in American football. Yes, that's my major goal.
And make money.
It's not my big. Okay, make money is there, but it's about what you love. I have passion for the game. Because I know why I come here is tier. Because I don't go easy, I go hard.
It's definitely not a game for the weak and faint-hearted. Sometimes terrible injuries do occur, but that is certainly not putting the players off.
Everybody's aware of the risk, and I am aware of it too. I pretty much research on every health issue that has to do with the game myself. So while I'm playing, I play safe, and also I'm the team physio, so I treat every person that has injury on the team.
We are all aware of the risk, but the major thing is we need to play safe, and we're doing that. We try to keep it as minimal as possible, but contact sport. And I also heard that they're improving the protective gear so to prevent all these health issues.
At the end of the day, American football is about heart and your mental skills. And the physical part, you train, you practice, and you get it. That's it.
The obvious thing about American football, yes, it is a physical sport. Not trying to justify any injuries or the physical nature of American football. I want to bring to the attention to people that ultimate fighting is a dangerous sport. UFC is a dangerous sport. Boxing is a dangerous sport. We have a lot of former pro boxers that are still suffering the effects of years of boxing. But the thing about any sport, as dangerous as it is, as long as you are teaching it and coaching it safely and teaching these children the safe ways to play this sport, I think it'll be able to educate people and say, look, you could have injuries playing any sport, even soccer. You can have scary injuries, but coaching and teaching, our job basically is to teach that we can play this thing safely and teach the kids and these young men and women that the safe way to play is this way to play it. And, there's some injuries that you can't control. I'm not going to stand here and pretend like, oh, yes, our coaching is concussion proof. There's some injuries you can't control, but as long as we implement this game safely, teach it safely, allow these young men and women to think safety first, it will help any sport, not just my sport, not just American football, even boxing, even soccer, even karate, even kung fu. Safety should be any grounds to teach American football or any sport in Nigeria.
Lagos Marine is making steady progress. More and more youths are getting attracted to the game, but funding remains a big issue. For now, the players and the coaches fund the team. But Coach Bankole says he's optimistic about the future of the game in Nigeria.
Everything we've been able to do has actually come from everybody chipping in here and there, because it's hard to get sponsorship on a sport that's so foreign to people. How do you tell someone in Nigeria that sponsors the Premier League to come and look at American football? It's like we're speaking a different language to them. But, those are challenges we knew going into this. But because we have the passion, because these young guys have the passion, we're still playing. And who knows, maybe somewhere down the line, somebody might just show interest and help us build this thing forward. Being a fan of the sport and also once played it, my ultimate dream is to see this sport in Nigerian schools, being played every year in Nuga, being played maybe semi-annually, maybe 6 months, a competition to rotate the talent that we have. I can go down a list of Nigerian players that play overseas. It's not like we don't have the talents in this country. We have them. It's just, what do we do? What do we provide for them? If we go back and look at, like, for instance, now, let's take China, for instance. They teach their children from young different sports. That's why every 4 years Olympics, they're prepared. They've been prepared 10 years before that 4-year Olympics. If we get to that point in Nigeria where we're implementing these things, these sports like American football, from the grassroots, by the time any of these kids get to university, they'll be ready to play on any level, in any country, not just Nigeria.
It's still a work in progress for American football in Nigeria. And though it is hard to see the game catching up with football anytime soon, the future of American football looks bright in a country famous for the round leather game. Deji Badimasi, TV 360, Nigeria.